Welcome everyone. What we are going to bring something really new ideas, very experienced person, so that it can really help you in your own growth. So if you see, if like most of the engineers, they think about the AI, lead code, AWS certification or DevOps tools, thinking it will lend them the dream job, But there is a brutal truth, and the brutal truth is skills are table stakes, mindset, ruthless execution, and leadership. That separates the 9 to 5 coders from a global architects building billion-dollar platform. And today we are exposing the playbook from a cloud and DevOps plus AI experts who have skilled system at the world-class companies. IIT passed out, platform architect, a team leader. And if you're chasing the future-proof tech career that pays global salary, watch till the end. He drops the exact step. So today, I would like to welcome Abhishek Srivastava, master of AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, and many more things. But what really makes him elite? Let's dive in. So, hi Abhishek. First of all, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for the invite. And yeah, I look forward for an engaging conversation and sharing thoughts today.
Thank you. So yeah, I think I think let's take us back and then what was your zero to hero moment? That turn in IIT grade into cloud leader, scaling platform for millions. What was that moment?
Sure. So I've been working in across industries, but yes, at some point I was fortunate enough to get a challenging opportunity wherein system was under stress. There was a kind of supposedly $1 million deals involved there. And it was an opportunity for me to get my hands dirty, get involved. At that point, while working continuously on that platform, reliability, scalability stuff from failure at million all the way to the billions, I think that was where performing well with executive visibility, stakes involved with customer side. I think that was a good opportunity wherein I was able to get lucky and could prove myself.
Wow. So that's really wonderful, and uh, I think that's where my experience also. If I can share that, my experience is you know generally if you can handle any particular difficult situation, and if you can come out of it and you can bring the entire team out of that, I think this is where you will have probably your biggest learning. And generally those moments, I still remember a lot of those such moments. You are still like, you can visualize those moments also, right? So wow, it's a fantastic start. So thank you for sharing it. So all the people who are listening it, many times we feel why this is the case, why we are into this kind of situation. So I think there is an opportunity in a problem, because as an expert, whenever you will look at the not a problem, you will see this is an opportunity. What can we do to solve it? I think that probably a one big message for all of you to grow further in your career. Lot more to come. Stay tuned, watch till the end. Okay, so next one. So one decision, what is that one decision early in your career that 99% of engineers regret skipping, and what was it?
Okay. Uh, it's a good question. So I think there are a couple of things. On the technical side, early in my career, I took a switch. I was working on the C++ kind of stuff, but I found out expanding my horizons, taking on the Java was something which was quite useful. So technical wise, that was one thing.
Mhm.
Non-technical wise, more of an attitude kind of stuff, is that taking ownership of the problem, just what we just now said, thinking that a challenge is an opportunity to prove rather than kind of struggling there, why me kind of stuff. That's what gave me a shift, that owning a problem, taking that as my own problem, that gives some more opportunity to improve as well as improve the system around me. So instead of me waiting for a problem to come to me, I owning a problem, trying to solve it is what, as an attitude, if someone can take it, he will be able to transform and get a better result.
No, wow, that's really really wonderful. And I think many times we really ignore about that, like it's not my problem, why should I be bothered, even forget about the looking at the bigger picture. I am just a developer, my part was just development, and after that I don't care what is happening, kind of things. So many times, and people, when people under stress or different situation, people think about it. But I think it is really, I'm sure people will find it like something different. And guys, this is, again, to all the people who are listening it, this is an independent view. We are not biased with any, any pressure or anything, or from any management or company specific view, right? We are sharing an independent view which can really help you. And so this is a value addition we want to bring to you. So, I am sure you will see that what is. And I think one important thing probably is you want to make a note of it, that just don't listen to this podcast. From this podcast, what you have learned, define some specific action items and try to take it to your workplace. I think from workshop to workplace, if you can make it, I think you will find out the maximum value and you will unleash the potential of your skill set, and then you will see the growth. So until as you don't take the action, it will be another podcast. If you are enjoying that, of course you can do that. But my request, humble request to all of you, will just take the action like Abhishek did, and this is where he is. So if you want a great success, always take action. All right. So next, to move on to the next question. So Abhishek, you know that, AI hype is everywhere. People are really, and I think up to certain extent that hype has come down a little bit, but still it is there. It's like AI is there. So many things are happening, and new versions, new tools, new technologies are coming in at much faster pace. So if a fresher ignores it at all and targets, say, like cloud DevOps today, what's the number one skill to master first for for a premium high paying job?
Okay. Just to add what you said, AI being pervasive here, I think we should not ignore it in the current diaspora. Everywhere things are evolving. So there's no point of battling with it. Imbibing it in your workplace, in your making yourself effective is the first and foremost thing. However, to answer your question regarding the skills and things, so a lot of things comes into play when you are building an application. So before you get on to that 5-year, 10-year trajectory, starting with the fundamentals, how systems are interacting, what is the way kind of communications are happening with security in an architecture. So start with the fundamentals first and foremost. Once you understand how things are working, basically how communications are happening, then picking those technologies, firstly picking the platform like AWS, exploring something, and then additional text tools and techs based on the need will give you at least the fundamentals of what the systems are happening. So you need to build on top of it, but starting with the fundamentals, picking one platform like AWS, GCP or something, and then learning the technologies so as to widen your breadth is what will give you the kind of this thing that you're looking for.
Wow, that was really awesome. Abhishek, there is another interesting question, and which I found, many times we don't have an answer to that question, and probably that will be very good question for people who are into this area and they want to grow. So the question is, so what separates a mediocre cloud engineer from a world class one? The dirty secret no bootcamp tells you.
That is a very good question. So to answer that question, I would say whatever you do, you need to ensure you are excelling in that field. Yeah. And to get to that, I would say get into the depth of whatever you are learning, especially in your workplace where you get an opportunity to build something. Get of the problem and ensure that you are curious in learning around the different dimensions as well. So just don't try to just solve that smaller problem, but get that curiosity, build that curiosity, ensure you are getting into the depth so that the solution that you make is final, foolproof, and it's world class. Building a world class solution will make sure that you are across the world giving a solution which is again a world class solution. So pretty much craftness in your work is essential.
Nice. So I think that's really, really good. And if you look at the, especially the very good companies, and a top-notch product, maybe if you see a product which is like a 5-star out of 5, and a product which is like probably competitor, and then they are getting probably like 4 out of 5, there will be very small, very subtle difference, but this is where actually you are saying the craftsmanship that comes and that will be reflected. It's like the basic functionality, both are doing same, But the moment you will start experiencing, then from there it will take a difference. And I completely agree with you. And then those kind of experiences, and as I think some of those moments we have lived. So whenever whatever you are doing, I think really get into the depth of that, be really good at it, see from maybe you want to go into depth, but at the same time you also having a helicopter view. Depending on the context, you can switch, and that can really make you a world class person or expert in that area. So wonderful, wonderful experience, and I'm loving this chat. So thank you very much for sharing this.
Sure. So
Still a lot more to come. Sorry, go ahead.
So for the C, I think the question was two people doing the same work, but and at the end, the results from the completion perspective might be same. But because you accelerated so well at becoming world-class polished one, you will automatically shine out of it. So the work will remain the same, but it has a very fine finish. So that's beautiful.
Nice. All right. So there is another different question. So question is Terraform versus real world chaos. What's the one tool hack that saves teams weeks of pain?
Okay. I think it depends on the problem. Terraform has pretty much taken the market with this storm. It's very good, but again, you have to see what your company is doing, what is actually the need of it. So if you are building something which is multi-cloud, Terraform is by default the golden standard here. And then there are additional tools and technologies which has come, people are using on top of, not managing the idea Terraform, so but by visual diagram and things. But if you are stick to one particular technology only and AWS ecosystem and things, then you can go with the formation. Again,
Sure.
answer the question. Understanding your company need is, or the data needs while we are building the software architecture, is core to the problem. Just someone adopting a solution and you copying it, you will not be able to stand the test of time for that. So you need to be able to defend why I am picking across a number of things, and each technology has their own strength and gaps as well. Nothing is pervasive everywhere. So you need to identify your problem set, make a informed judgment why I am picking one technology versus the other, and then stick to it. Yeah.
Nice. Really nice. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I think yes, you also had a good experience. So
I'm not the expert in Terraform, but if I can take the similar analogy in my expertise area, it's definitely, you need to start what we are doing. But even before what, why we are doing, I think there is one good book, and Simon Sinek, I really like it, and he is really good, expert in that area and world leader. So he has endorsed that idea also. Always start with why. And I think by default, if I look at my life, if I've done something, I always started with why also. Why should I do that? That is the basic question which comes. Okay, I need to do the XYZ thing, but why? I have probably two options. Then why should I choose this option versus that option, right? So similarly, I think anything which you want to pick up as a team and organization. And if I come back to my professional experience, many times companies have selected something or they started doing something because my competitor is doing it or my executive said so. And I've seen, as in being transformation leader, I've seen those transformation will fail because they will not sustain that. Why are we doing it? If that why is not clear, after few months of starting that journey, you will feel like a complete chaos. We don't know what we are doing and why we are doing, and we are just doing for sake of doing it. And it is as good as, if I go back to even the much more tech level, it is like a developer is developing something where he doesn't know what I'm doing and why I'm doing. It's just like somebody asked me to do that, I'm just doing it. But this is where you will not see that world class performance, like, the craftsmanship, what we just talked about.
right.
So I completely agree with you. You need to understand why, what is the need, and then accordingly, things are evolving. And just to add one analogy, generally I give this analogy to, in my discussions and sessions, like when there is a fire, and somebody is asking and say, oh, can you give me a bucket of water? Then generally what will you do? You will give the bucket of water, right? Naturally people say, okay, let's take a bucket of water. But here is the difference. What if that fire is caused by a electrical short circuit, so will you still give the bucket of water? Probably that will be more dangerous than, not giving the bucket of water. So this again goes back to the why that person is looking for that solution. And probably I have a better solution. And this is where people can correlate. Maybe person XYZ, business or leaders are asking for certain thing. But the moment you will start seeing why they are asking for this particular solution, what is the problem they're trying to solve, probably you have a better ideas. So I think exactly what you said, and this is what we can't take a name of specific client or company, definitely, but this is where across the globe, I think this is what I've seen. And I think that has really saved people versus the companies where they've started doing, be it transformation, be it any project, and then they struggling with that whole project or program over the period of time. So yeah,
Nice thought.
cool, nice. And I think this is again, this is a wonderful conversation, and I don't feel like it is I'm just taking or when we are having this podcast, and so I think I'm sure people are going to love it. So again, my request to all of you, take action items, make a keynotes, like key things which you thought, if you like something, make a note of it and try to define a specific action item in your work, because that will really, really help you. I think this is one of my observation um, across the globe and working with the multiple teams. All right, so next one is, production is on fire, millions at stake. How do you stop panic and turn your team into heroes?
Well, that's a very good question. That's quite an open scenario. So I think first and foremost is that there's no point of having a panic that production is on fire. And at the same time, it's quite natural for first couple of times you're having a cold feel, oh, what's happening? It's kind of $1 million problem and kind of stuff. After working 1 or 2 times, I think you will get a hang of it. However, in terms of the leadership, when you need to ensure you are imparting the skills to the team, very important, you stand with the team at that point during the actual problem so that you inculcate the right value in terms of how the troubleshoot should happen, what steps need to be taken. It may be possible that in the first few occasions, it may take some more time. You may have some failure, not failure in terms of letting the system down, but it may take some more time. But imparting that skills as a leader to the team is very essential so that next time team is able to handle to it. I think that's very important. Sitting with the team, ensuring the team is comfortable, you standing by for all the decisions that team is taking. It's very important to ensure that you are owning the problem. You're not just passing on the problem. So team learns a lot. Looking at you being the leader, team learns a lot inspirationally, look forward technically, non-technically, and they are tomorrow leaders. So it's very important to solve the current problem at hand. Additionally, inculcating or upbringing of the team as well. So that's very essential.
Really nice. I think that's really, really wonderful. And I think I particularly, if I can correlate with the what you just said, I think that I have seen some like high intense moments in my career where CEO sitting next to you or on the floor, he's there, so you can imagine how like high pressure the situation was. But I think this is where I really found that when my leader is not in panic, he is like very optimistic. It gives you a lot of courage. And I think one simple thing which I learned, and I remember about one leader, and I'm not sure if I can take his name, but I think let's not take the names. So what I really like about that person is, doesn't matter how tense the situation is, but in between this tense situation, he will crack a joke. And it will make things like, it takes extraordinary courage and sense of, mind, like in presence of mind and sense of humor, which can really, you are able to do that. And that will be appropriate, so that also takes away a little bit of pressure from like, okay, it's good, you are there, and it could be as simple as like, I had, again, I'm just recalling some good memories. It could be as good as when people are going, like as a team, we are going live. As a leader, you are just, going there on the floor, you are talking to the people, or virtually you are there, and at least, you are, they can see you, and maybe you are bringing some goodies to them, just like, as a gesture of like, maybe they can enjoy it, maybe some chocolates, toffees, or anything like snack, little small snacks. That, I think that breaks a lot of those stress thing, that, oh my God, this is what is the case. And so many people are running like a headless chicken here and there, and then this and that. And I think sometimes that is really required. And it's like the beauty of human mind is we read what is not written there also. So your body language, your image, your a lot of things, rather than just simple words, there are a lot of other things which as a human we perceive it, be it virtually, be it in like face to face conversation, and that tells you a lot more context and information. And that really, I work with one team where I was not. So it's just to give a specific example. I was in early days of my career. I used to work for a company, and I called in the so at end of the day, I had to call in a particular office and ask them if their work is completed or not, and I need to check mark like, okay, it's done. And one day, like, generally they will call you first, but that day they forgot about it, and they don't speak English. I don't speak their language. So, yes, and the check is really important. If that will not happen, it will go like, escalation will happen at every possible level, like, level 1, level 2, level 3, whatever is that level, because that is very serious thing. So I think I really twisted, turned English, is like this, that, no English at all, but somehow I was trying to convey this person that I didn't get a confirmation from your side. I'm waiting for. So, and that's again the example here is like, it's like sometimes even if you don't speak language, you're like, a few words, your gesture, that can tell a lot of things, and that makes lot of difference. So I think, as you said, really, really wonderful. I think that's fantastic.
Just on the body language needs to be brought up. Very important thing is that you need to learn from the mistake, keep a note of it. But at that time, your body language needs to sound positive. So no finger pointing for finding at that point. Need to ensure that. Yeah, it's a learning.
It's fantastic. So just in continuation with that, I have another question for you, and it's also on the similar theme. So, what is your biggest leadership mistake? Or what, or I would say failure early on, that the one that cost time, money, or reputation, and the lesson that made you unstoppable.
Okay. I think early on, as soon as I transitioned into the leadership, I was still in that same mindset that I'll do everything, yes, one person kind of stuff. But then slowly I realized that unless I impart the skills, let team inculcate that agility and practices, they know the stuff, delegation kind of stuff, I'll not be able to deliver as much as I can deliver myself. So letting the team get to it, work across the teams is where I see my early mistake, and I worked a lot on it. I'm still working on it.
Wow, and I think that I'm, first of all, congratulations and thank you very much, because it takes a lot of courage, and I think in this open platform, when you're sharing it, that really takes a lot of courage. Many people are, even first of all, like, when you work with a different leadership experts level, people, the different level of roles that what they are playing, for sometimes they are not aware of it. So second time, like second step is like they are aware of it, but they don't recognize it, and they don't feel like, I'm making that mistake. That's so, until unless you don't identify a problem, it is difficult to fix that problem. That's my two lines. But wonderful, really, really. And I think, as a human being, let's be honest, we all make mistakes. It's not like we are immune to everything. There will be things, but as we said, like, we all make mistakes. And the earlier we will find out, when better it will be for us to fix it, learn from it and take the necessary action to and we are not getting into the trap. Otherwise, I think you are only hindering your own growth. All right, so I think the point is, we all make a mistake. Take courage, accept it, and let's move on. Define the action item, and then work on that. I think this is will give you a lot more growth. So, Abhishek, the next one is, so will AI kill coding, DevOps, and traditional programming, or supercharge them? Be brutally honest, please.
Okay, I think that's a good question. The way we are shifting in the AI, it has changed a lot. So definitely, it's important be comfortable, be flexible, and be adapted to it. There's no point unnecessary battling with it. However, it's evolving, so we need to learn from it. So I'll just take a step back in terms of the evolution and think how it has happened. In the previous days, we have been programming on 88, and likes of those. So there is an evolution happens every time, be it industry, be it software, be it outside software, be it the industrial revolution things. We have gradually moved a lot from lower level all the way to the kind of to top level to this high level programming as such. And it really evolve. You will get to solve a different kind of challenge. Yeah. So it's important. What I'm saying is that it's important you learn the techniques, be a master of it so that you can tame and you can be in control of it. So instead of you becoming a servant to the AI stuff, still guide it to the solution. Just don't follow it blindly. So in that way, a lot of things will change, and it is changed already, as you've seen in the market, but it's evolved and you will find some other values based on the AI. So skills then you will not kind of go on.
I have another interesting question in that continuation, because I think that's the question. What I have found people are looking for, and sometimes they have answers for that, but still they are not very much clear what exactly we should do. And I think especially hearing it from you as a leader, that like that solidify the entire idea that what I'm hearing with different advices, it is still genuine and it is right. Because like 5 experts are giving me the same advice, then there is a very high probability that probably that is the right path for us to take. All right, so next question is, so next 3 to 5 years, 3 must-have skills that will make engineers irreplaceable and probably rich also.
My God, that's a very good question. In this dynamic, changing time of AI, okay, I'll try to answer that. So, first and foremost, again, as I said, don't battle with AI. However, learn to evolve, learn to cope up with it, try to leverage it in your day-to-day life. So that is first and foremost skills at this point of time. Second is again going back to the fundamentals, how systems are working, understanding, but imbibing on the other principles like microservices architecture, how the applications are built. Working on those fundamentals are pretty essentials. Yeah. And yes, third is collaborating with teams, getting things done, having that spirit. Those are non-technical, but that is very important to make you go forwards. Finding that opportunity, keep working on it. Getting into the depth is very essential. So yes, work with AI. Second, understanding those tech skills like taking a platform, AWS, GCP, and working on the microservices design. And C is collaboration and communication. Those are things which will let you continue, especially like
this message, when I'm following multiple leaders, and if I hear their talk or if I read the books, exactly same thing. They are now the message is coming again and again that we don't need to fight with AI. In fact, what I've seen, many people are like not adopting the AI or the tools which are which will accelerate the overall productivity, fearing that the moment I will do that, probably I will lose my job, right? And sometimes people are like the communication and collaboration, these are the two important things which until unless you don't know how to communicate, be it with AI, or be it with humans, that is very very important. Because if you're not able to give even the right prompt, you will get a not that good output. And sometimes people start comparing, oh, this is not that good, and etc. So they reach to a decision or conclusion very early in that conversation, And I think that that's something exactly what you said. We must look into that. And so I think I really like it. And I think if I decode what you just said, you are using the power of AI with your technical expertise, but supercharging it with your soft skills, right? I think that really makes, and I'm pretty sure, if somebody asked me, and then, like if I need to put like maybe $1,000 bet on this three skill set, the combination of these three, definitely, it will take us there. But again, as you said, like, you be open, be flexible, and just evolve as per the need of the organization or need of the your team or program. That will give you a much better chance rather than having that fixed mindset or fixed solution theme. We are going to another important aspects, and especially in your area, you know and I think especially people who are working in this area, they will love it. So here is the another gem for all of you guys. Listen to this carefully. Abhishek, tell us the hidden cloud opportunity right now that everyone is sleeping on in your bet for 10x growth.
Okay, that is a good question. So I won't call it hidden or not hidden, but what I see is that the way industry is gravitating towards is building automation as well as self-service across all the solutions. So industry has learned, the more early we get onto that ladder, understand, let the application be automation driven, self-service, it's agile on its own, it is able to react. So if we incorporate as soon as possible, align with what is industry seeking at this point of time, the more faster you will be able to get onto that train and deliver the solution. So companies are realizing that value. They are very aggressively pursuing in the cloud and the cloud native world right now. It's an opportunity waiting. So if you can get onto it, that would be very good for you and your company.
For all the leaders, and all the people who are listening it, maybe think about it. Maybe it will open up a wonderful opportunity for you. So think about it. Okay, coming to the next one, and I'm sure it is going to be another very interesting question, and people are really eagerly, looking for the answer to that question. And at least I was looking forward to it. Like, I really like that question, so I really thought about it, and then I'm just putting it forward. So my question here is the global teams versus Indian teams, the unspoken differences that trip up, you know, 90% of Indians going abroad. So especially the people who have moved abroad, and most of the people, they will trip up on that, or they will find it difficult. So what is that? Those are the unspoken differences.
Okay. I think uh, generally good question, but to start with, as soon as you start working across the global teams, across the geography, you get to have a lot of diversity, a lot of communications, like a lot of best practice when you work across the team. So that is in general given when you work across team. Coming to your original question, what is the benefit while what's the difference when you see across in other places? So India does, as I've worked a lot in India geography, I do see that we do reward a lot of what fast-paced development, execution skills and things. It is very good in India. When it comes to the outside as well, these things are essential, but ownership of the task, completely understanding and challenging the problem at hand, those are extra bits for a world-class solution that organization do look forward. So I won't say compare and contrast, but what I will take it as a answer is that if we can club both the way execution skills from India, the capability and everything, club it with the way industry in terms of ownership of a solution, getting in depth of it. When we club those two together, we'll build a world class solution as well as you being a world class leader as well. So just combining both two will get you the solution.
Oh, that's another really good one. So one more question on the similar line. So what is the number one step? So step number one for any Indian engineers dreaming of global roles,
Mhm.
and they want to go out probably, and like, looking for opportunity outside India. Abhishek, I have as one more interesting question on the similar line. What is the first step that any Indian engineer or expert who is dreaming of global roles, what is that first step he or she should take?
Okay. I think A is the technical side of things, which I think we already covered. You need to be well versed in your technology. The second thing we have already discussed in this conversation is that you need to be very good in what you are doing. It's pretty much on a craftsmanship level that you need to do. So if you cater on both in depth on the technology as well as making it on the lines of perfection and whatever you are delivering on it, that's the two combinations will let you go far across. So your output will be at the world class and everyone will can see and appreciate it. Now, not everything you do will be appreciated in that manner, but if you continue on that spirit and exist in that work manner, you will definitely see the reward.
Again, I have another interesting question on a similar line, and I'm putting it in a different perspective. So, what are the what do good companies really crave for? What is the key skill set or key things they are looking into the people when they are hiring them? And especially when I'm talking about like really global companies. What are the key things they are looking at?
Okay. I think it depends on the role, but if we talk about the technology side, so you need to be excellent in the technology area. So if it is some technology, some way you are in kind of collecting the solution, you need to have a very good depth in whatever you are doing in your set of tech stacks. Second is the problem solving ability because the problem keeps on changing with AI. So also with the enterprise applications, it changes a lot. So your ability to do the problem solving is very essential. How do you get out your problems? So that gives you a very good credibility when you do those problem solving challenges. And I think the third is very important thing is how do you communicate across teams when there's a problem, when you have to find a solution for an open-ended problem, because communication is what drives your outcomes to a next degree as such. So that's very important. So the company does look forward for all those three. In depth, in your understanding, how do you deal with a new problem, and then how do you kind of take everyone together. So your solution, your communication is very important. So your company does address all three is what I believe.
So thank you very much. I think that's really, really wonderful and really great insights. So now more or less we are reaching to the another round, growth sprint round, which is a rapid fire round. You don't need to think about it. I'm just going to ask you a question and you need to choose one of the option. I'm going to give you two options and you need to choose one. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. AWS versus GCP.
Oh, that's a very good and tough question. So AWS, yes. GCP is what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. Terraform or cloud formation?
Terraform. Yeah.
Morning person or night owl?
I would love to be a morning person, but I'm a night owl.
So, code first or architecture first?
I have been on the architecture, so yes, architecture first. Code we can refactor. But
Editor or managing egos? What breaks leader faster?
that's a good question. So managing teams, managing people, I think is challenging. And I can get into more details of that answer, but for a rapid fire, managing people is something because that's something I'm still working on right now. So the more you have worked on a problem, the problem becomes more easier for you. Tech, I have worked very much, so it's easy. Managing people, lot of soft skills and dimensions. I'm still working on it. So yes, that's
So, one book every engineer must read.
okay. I would say it's High Output Management by Andrew Grove. Yeah, it's a very good book.
Okay. One skills you're always obsessed with learning now.
I would say imbibing and incorporating AI into my day-to-day practice is something I'm working on.
Wow. So, all right. So, I think we are it's that round, rapid fire rounds. Thank you for that. I'm sorry it was a little bit. I know I asked like a lot of question in very short period of time, but I hope people are really like it, and I think some really wonderful answers are there. So good, and I think we came to know a little bit different side of Abhishek also from those questions. So good. All right. So I think there is a, as like, a gift to all our viewers and listeners, it's a gift we want to give, and especially, in the New Year's time. If you could whisper one game changing message to your, like, maybe 20 years old self about career, learning, or life, I leave it up to you, whatever is that. So, what is that message that you would like to give to your 20 years younger person?
Sure. I think I would say that when you're starting a career, instead of being constrained, it's good to be bold, be creative, be courageous, and at the same time, you need to be curious in whatever you're doing, try to get excellent in it. So instead of getting constrained with you are given a problem, you will start working on it. Take a driver's seat attitude, be bold, be courageous, and at the same time, enjoy whatever you're doing. Doing that at the start, I think you will be more happy in what you are doing, as well as more kind of satisfied with what you have achieved in your life. So that's something I would say. The earlier you do, the better you will be more closer to your dream.
Nice, nice. So, thanks for crushing it today, Abhishek. I think it was really, really wonderful. I really loved this conversation. I think a lot of very good insights and valuable information, which I'm sure our listeners would have also found it very valuable. And I think probably you won't find all those answers anywhere on Google or anywhere on this internet, because these are very, like, highly curated question, where we just wanted to bring specific question with the real world experience. Now, if you just listen to it and you're not taking the action, probably you will just find it theoretical. Because again, we don't know what is the context, what is the background, so we cannot give you a pinpoint, action item. But we leave it up to you. Think about it. Think, like, what can you learn from it? What are the actions you can take from it, and apply it in your day-to-day job? I think you will see wonderful results. And, like, we will keep on bringing the leaders like Abhishek and a lot of others people. So thank you, Abhishek, thank you very
Sure.
much.
Yeah, it was a very engaging conversation. Thanks, Maya. Thanks, Mavi. Thanks for inviting.
All the people who are listening to it, so if this is fine, share it with your engineer friends or any friends, whom and probably they are stuck in this area, they don't know what to do. So these are the some very important aspects about life, about our profession, about our, in fact, living, how you want to live your life, because personal and professional both makes important aspect of our life. And we briefly touched upon certain aspects, but it was mainly focused towards our professional growth. So, and I think I remember one line which I heard in one of our conversation, and I it is like written on my mind, and that is, growth solves most of the problem in your life. If there is a growth, lot of things will automatically will get adjusted, or they will be solved automatically. But if there is not a growth, I think an n number of problems will enter in your system. So I think this is the whole purpose of having this conversation. How can you grow faster and better? So again, if you like it, if you find it really useful, please like it, subscribe it, and remember, skill fits, mindset wins. So keep learning, keep growing. Thank you very much for joining it. Once again, thank you, Abhishek, for this. And see you guys very soon again. Thank you.
Good.